Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on the latest developments. Today, we delve into a story that's stirring controversy across the United Kingdom and beyond. King Charles has extended an unprecedented second state visit invitation to US President Donald Trump, a move that has ignited passionate debates within British politics and society. But beyond the controversy over Trump himself, there's an even bigger question. Who should be making these kinds of diplomatic decisions? Should this power belong to Parliament as the elected representatives of the people, or should it remain with the monarchy, which has traditionally overseen state visits? Extending a second state visit invitation to a sitting US president is virtually unheard of, making this decision by King Charles particularly significant. The invitation was personally delivered by Prime Minister Keir Starmer during a recent meeting at the White House, where President Trump promptly accepted. This development has sparked a firestorm of reactions across the UK political spectrum. Adding fuel to the fire is the question of who should be responsible for inviting world leaders to the UK on a state level. Traditionally, the monarchy handles this, with the government playing a more informal advisory role. However, as British politics becomes more entangled with global affairs, some argue that Parliament should have the final say. After all, state visits are more than just ceremonies. They send messages about who the UK stands with and supports at a global level. Should such a decision be purely symbolic, or should there be parliamentary oversight? If a world leader carries a history of controversial policies or actions, should the elected government, rather than the king, be the ones to determine whether they should be honoured with a state visit? The responsibility for this controversial invitation lies primarily with the British monarchy and the current government. King Charles, in his capacity as the head of state, extended the invitation, a gesture that underscores the importance of the UK-US special relationship. Prime Minister Starmer's role in personally delivering the invitation highlights the government's endorsement of this decision. However, this move has not been without its detractors. Critics argue that extending such an honour to President Trump, especially after his recent contentious encounter with President Zelensky, sends a troubling message about the UK's stance on global diplomacy and human rights. This also reignites a centuries-old debate about the role of the monarchy in modern British governance. While the king is technically above politics, his actions hold immense symbolic weight. In this case, is he overstepping by making such a politically charged decision? Or is it Parliament that should be stepping up and taking more control over matters of international diplomacy? The precedent set by this visit could redefine the balance of power between the government and the Crown. This situation is more than just a diplomatic formality. It has profound implications for the UK's international standing and domestic cohesion. By extending this invitation, the UK risks appearing to condone President Trump's recent behaviour, including his abrasive treatment of President Zelensky during their Oval Office meeting. Such perceptions can strain the UK's relationships with other European allies and complicate its role in mediating international conflicts. Beyond Trump himself, this issue represents a deeper question about the UK's foreign policy. Should the UK take clear sides in global conflicts where it isn't directly involved? By inviting Trump, who has been openly critical of European leaders and NATO commitments, Britain could be seen as choosing sides in a fractured geopolitical landscape. But is that a good or bad thing? At a time when the world is becoming increasingly polarized, the UK faces a difficult choice: remain neutral and risk being sidelined, or take a firm stand and risk entangling itself in conflicts that aren't its own. It's a high-stakes diplomatic dilemma with no easy answers. Navigating this complex situation requires a delicate balance between honoring long-standing alliances and upholding the UK's commitment to democratic values and human rights. The government must engage in transparent discussions with the public and international partners to articulate the rationale behind this invitation. Additionally, during the state visit, UK leaders should not shy away from addressing contentious issues directly with President Trump, ensuring that the visit serves as a platform for constructive dialogue rather than mere ceremonial pomp. At the same time, Parliament should consider reviewing the process by which state visits are decided. Should there be a formal approval system where elected representatives can vote on high-profile invitations? Or should the tradition remain where the monarchy makes the call without government interference? As the UK reassesses its post-Brexit role in global affairs, these questions must be addressed sooner rather than later. Engaging with civil society and opposition parties to build a consensus on foreign policy approaches will also be crucial in maintaining domestic unity. If the UK wants to maintain credibility on the world stage, it must decide how and when it takes a stand on divisive international figures. The invitation extended to President Trump for a second state visit is a decision fraught with controversy and significance. It challenges the UK to reflect on its values, diplomatic priorities, and the message it wishes to convey on the global stage. More importantly, it raises critical questions about who should be making these diplomatic decisions in the first place: the King as per tradition, or Parliament as a representation of the people's will. As this story unfolds, we will continue to monitor the developments and their impact on both domestic and international fronts. What do you think? Should Parliament take control over these decisions, or should it remain a royal prerogative? Let us know in the comments. If you found this discussion insightful, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Until next time, stay informed and engaged.